Lawyers bill for their time on an hourly basis. Well, they actually do it. Some of them do it 15-minute, 30-minute, hour increments. You don't see it as much in criminal law. People who practice criminal defense, they usually do bigger lump sum payments, or a fee is broken up to 3 or 4 payments, something like that. But when you're dealing with like civil lawyers who are helping you with lawsuits, a family attorney, probate, business transaction, things like that, what those lawyers do is every time you're interacting with them, assume they're billing you. Every time you're talking with them, every time you're asking a question, every time you're requiring them, I say requiring them, every time they're engaging with you, assume they're billing you. That's the safer assumption. Because it all represents work. It all represents work. The reason the lawyer is engaged with you is due to work. So you might have a question about how this affects this, or you might want to call them asking about something. Every time they're picking up their phone and talking to you, or have to write an email and reply back to the email, you're being billed. Just the way it is, right? So a lot of people are surprised when they get that bill at the end of the month. They're like, what? Wow. Right? So take a lawyer's fee. Let's say a lawyer charges $250 an hour, right? And you talk to them for 15 minutes. Well, they're going to divide that $250 an hour by 4, and that's the amount that you billed because you spoke to them for 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes, a quarter of an hour, right? So let's say they sent you 2 or 3 emails because y'all went back and forth. That might have taken 2 hours, because a lot of times what a person sees is where they assume that the lawyer knows the answer to the question that they're asking. The law is specific. It's not general. The law is very specific. So your particular question might require the lawyer to do a little bit of research. And because of that, because the lawyer wants to give you the right information, they might have to look up something, check something out, and then get back to you. So it's taking longer than just writing that email. It's actually doing the work to find out what the answer is, right? And then telling you in the email. So all that time, you're being billed. Every time you're interacting with a lawyer, assume you're being billed, right? Assume you're being billed. And that doesn't include the time you're in court or the time they're spending time looking up things for your case. You might not know that they spend a couple hours looking up something for your case. And you're like, wow, I had no idea. That's all part of it. That's all part of it. And they are billing. They are billing. I think it's better just to know that ahead of time, right? So when you're engaging with attorneys in the future, in your life, you understand what the general setup is, so that when you meet with them, you can ask the right questions, so you'd be more informed, right? So if you are going to ask some questions, maybe you'll just ask them once or twice instead of over a period of 15 different conversations, because it could save you some money. It could save you some money. Lawyers are billing you for their time always. If you're interacting with them, even when you're not, you're being billed. But specifically when you're interacting with them, because that's work. You don't see it. You don't see the other side of it. What they have to do to give you the right answers and answer your questions. That's work, okay? It is work, and they're billing you for it.